What's going on, great people? Somebody's got to be great today. Hey, it might as well be you. Welcome once again to Investing and Trading Made Simple. I am your host, Cedric Threet, aka Simple Cedric. And in the next 15 minutes or less, that's what I intend to do. Make investing and trading simple for you. You know, Geico has the commercial in 15 minutes they can save you 15% or more. Well, I'm not here to save you 15% or more, but I am here to show you how to make investing and trading simple, how to get in the game. That's what I'm here to do. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what a stock is, how it works, and how you can purchase them. But before I do that, someone asked a question after the last video. They wanted to know, well, who is this guy? Who is this Simple Cedric? And why is he teaching people investing and trading? Why does he want to do that? Well, I'll tell you who I am. My testimony or my story is I used to work for a company. I worked for a company for 19 years. 19 years of, I won't say hard labor because it wasn't hard labor, but I worked for a good company for 19 years until November of 2009. I walked in the door on a Monday and they said, tomorrow's your last day. So just like that, I was without a job. Now they gave me a nice severance package. They gave me a beautiful severance package. They gave me all of this money. I had all of this money in my hand. I never had this much money in my hand at one time. But I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what to do with it, and I couldn't find anybody to tell me what to do with it. So I found out about this little thing called the stock market. Found out about investing and trading and how it works, but I found out a little too late because by the time I found out about it, I had already blown all of my money. But if I knew then what I know now, I could have really done some things. My life would be a lot better off. So that's why I want to share this information with people because I look at it kind of like the haves and the have nots. You know, the haves, they know this information. And you know what they do with it? They teach it to their children. But now the have nots don't have this information. The have nots can't teach it to their children. But there are some people who have this information and they know this information, but they're not willing to share it. So now that I have this information, that's what I want to do. I want to share this information with anybody who will listen. So that's what I'm all about. As always, I have to share my disclaimer with you, letting you know that I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not trying to sell you anything, and that investing does involve risk. The New York Stock Exchange opens at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and it closes at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, there are some other markets that are open virtually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we're not going to be discussing them in this video. We'll talk about some of those in our later videos. When you're watching your local or national news broadcast, have you ever noticed that before that broadcast goes off, they're going to tell you what the Dow Jones has done for that day, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500. They're going to tell you how much they rose or how much they declined. Now, why do you think that is? You know, they may even have the little ticker symbols going across the bottom of the screen. Why do you think they're telling you this information? They'll tell you this information because this is what makes the world go round. This is some important news. That's why they're telling you. Did you know that the stock market has increased over 300%? Over 300% since 2009. A lot of people have been preaching doom and gloom and it's going to crash. And it may, I don't know. But this thing has increased over 300% over the last 12 years, and we're still not in the game. It's happening right underneath our noses, people, and we need to be in this game. So who are they? Or what are they? This NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones. Who are they and what do they do? Well, the Dow Jones is a weighted index, and when you see the word index, think of it as a group of companies. It's an index of the 30 largest companies in the United States. That's what the Dow Jones is. And when you're talking about the S&P 500, S&P stands for Standard and Poor's, and it's a collection of 500 companies, 500 different stocks that are in that market. And most of the time when you hear people say the market, that's what they're talking about is the S&P 500 because that's what most people concentrate on, the S&P 500. And then you have the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ is comprised of 4,000 stocks. It has your technical companies in it, such as your Apple and your Googles of the world. Now, there are two types of stocks out there. One of them is called preferred stock, and the other one is called common stock. The preferred stock is basically owned by CEOs, board of directors, and one of the advantages is if that company goes out of business, they're the first to get paid. Remember, I told you that investing involves risk, and one of those risks is this company could go bankrupt and you could lose all of your money. Well, the CEOs and the board members, they won't lose all of their money. They may lose some, but they won't lose all of it because they have preferred stock. And they also get greater dividends. A dividend is something that I showed you is that's in Bank B. That's something that a company rewards you with for saying thank you, basically, for purchasing stock in our company. They have this thing that comes out called earnings, and if their earnings are better than projected, then everybody gets a dividend check. And your dividend check will depend on how many shares that you have in that particular company. Now, your common stock, these people, the people who own common stock, are the last to get paid if that company goes bankrupt. You may have seen some things in the news where a company went out of business and all of the employees lost their money because they had this money in their 401k and now it's all gone. That's because it was common stock. So that's how that works. So what is a stock and how do you purchase one? A stock is a certificate of ownership in a company. You see, there are two ways that a company can raise capital. They can do it by issuing bonds, which is debt, or they can sell stock, which is what we're talking about. When you own the share of stock, you actually own a part of the company. That's why you're called a shareholder. For example, if you shop at Walmart, a lot of you like to shop at Walmart, and I do too. Did you know that you can actually own a share of Walmart simply by owning some of the stock? Even if you work for Walmart, they may offer you an opportunity to purchase some of the stock since you are an employee. You may even be able to get it at a cheaper rate being an employee of the company. Same with Nike. I like to wear Nike. A lot of people like to wear Nike. You can actually own a part of Nike or Google or Facebook, all these other companies that we deal with, you can actually own a part of them. Now, when you own a part of them, when you own the stock, that doesn't mean that you have a seat at the table where you can go in and talk to the CEOs and make decisions and things like that. But you are part owner of this company. Again, that's why they call you a shareholder. Let me show you how it works. Let's say you want to purchase a share of Apple, and for the sake of this example and keeping it simple like I like to do, let's say that a share of Apple stock is $50 and you want to purchase 10 shares of Apple. That 10 shares is going to cost you $500. $500 because 50 times 10 is 500. And let's say you hold that stock for maybe a week or a month or a year, and that stock, it actually goes up. It goes up by $10. It goes up to $60 per share. That's great. That is actually awesome. Now, your stock or your shares are worth $600. $600. You just made $100 profit. And that's great. Now, on the other hand, let's say you purchased that same $50 share of Apple. You got 10 shares again, cost you that same $500. And over the course of the next week or month or year, it actually went down by $10. Now Apple's shares went down to $40 per share. So now your 10 shares are only worth $400. So now look at this. You just lost $100. That goes back to that risk that we were talking about earlier. You're going to incur some risk. So you got to try to mitigate them as much as possible. That's why it's important to do research before you decide to purchase any share of any company. But this is how it works. And that's why we need to be in this game. So now that you know what a stock is and how it works, where can you purchase this stock? Let me tell you where you can purchase it from. You can purchase this stock from what's called a stockbroker. Stockbrokers work for companies like your Raymond James, Mass Mutual. And what these people do, they help you with your taxes and retirement. They can give you a lot of advice, but they charge some large commissions for that. You have to have what I consider a lot of money to even go in and talk to these people. But they're great. They can really help you out. Or what you can do is you can use an online or discount broker, and I have some on the screen here. I'm not telling you these are the ones you should use, but I'm just showing you that these are some of the ones that are out there. There are dozens of them out there to choose from. You should just use your own discretion and do your own research. This is kind of like a DIY investing, do it yourself investing, in that you won't get retirement or tax advice from these online brokers. But the advantage is you won't have to pay those high commissions either. They will charge very little, if any, commission at all. Some of them are actually free. So just do your research and check into them and see which one you like. So there you have it. We did it. 15 minutes or less. We did it, people. We did it. I have shown you what a stock is, how it works. We've talked about the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, who they are, and we've even talked about where you can purchase some of the stocks. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, the share, the notification, all of that good stuff. Let people know that, hey, we are in the game, baby. We are doing this thing. And as always, I like for you to just keep it real, keep it simple, and keep being great. Hey, I'll see you in the next video.